Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
This song is for anyone fishing a tournament, is going to fish a tournament, or has fished a tournament, or grinding it out on a tournament circuit. I know the struggle and I respect the hustle.
No, I'm not a pro with some discount codes, but this fishing's in my blood, ingrained in my bones, and the passion burns deep. Hot embers in my soul that my daddy put there when I wasn't very old. Had a little flame, just needed to be stoked. Then the wind hit it, now I'm out of control, like a forest fire raging, burning down an old growth. Yeah, let's go. Buzzbait on, single tied up, crankbait ride, trying to catch a bunch, put a tungsten on these mats when I punch out here on this water. I ain't worried about much, jig ride in my hand, 7 others on deck. Win this thing, need to cash me a check. Life that you live when you fish a tournament, tracks on fire, you could call me lit. Lighter in my hand, looking like an arsonist, so cold with the flow, so you know that it's sick. Got a couple in the boat, so I'm feeling marvelous, but I need 3 more before I call it quits. Chuck some Gatorade, cause I really need a sip, and my thirst for these fish, it can never be quenched. Got jigs with the blades, you could call them battle baits. Catch me blowing up the spot just like a grenade. Mine's cooking up rhymes every single day. Heat them up quick, come in microwave. And I don't even really care what the hater wanna say. You could cross that line, just cut the yellow tape. And fishing's like a puzzle with a lot of different pieces. Every time I catch a big one, man, I'm screaming, thank you Jesus for my life. Kids and my wife, get to see the sunrise. Another cast, another bite. I'ma ride, I'm just looking for them calmly. Who am I kidding? I've been new bait shopping. Powerhouse fishing, so you know there ain't no stopping. Picking up these baits, but you know they gon' be dropping. Walking and plopping, dragging and hopping. If that doesn't work, you can find me drop shotting on that pan optics, doing what I does, so I'm big bass style. No, I'm not a pro with some discount codes, but this fishing's in my blood, ingrained in my bones, and the passion burns deep. Hot embers in my soul that my daddy put there when I wasn't very old. Had a little flame, just needed to be stoked. Then the wind hit it, now I'm out of control, like a forest fire raging, burning down an old growth. Yeah, let's go. Buzzbait on, single tied up, crankbait ride, trying to catch a bunch, put a tungsten on these mats when I punch out here on this water. I ain't worried about much, jig ride in my hand, 7 others on deck. Win this thing, need to cash me a check. Life that you live when you fish a tournament, tracks on fire, you could call me lit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wheels America Racing Network. We are here at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Honor Our Heroes 140. In the broadcast booth with me and playing double duty, it is Mr. Steve Tucker. Steve, how you doing, pal?
Hello, hello. I'm doing good, man.
Yeah.
Feeling good, looking good.
Well,
All the above.
happy you looking good, but, talk about tonight, because this is very important to you. Honor our heroes, and it's obviously very important to me, but you're the league owner, so I'll hand it over to you.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is big. Honestly, this is one of our crown jewels, I guess you could call it. I mean, it's a big race. Honor our heroes. 350. So really, I mean, right here we're honoring our frontline workers, right? So police officers, EMS, veterans, right? Just all the folks who just do so much for us. And man, I'll tell you what, I can't wait. This race is different. It's definitely way different. It's a bit longer of a race, and going to be about 15 laps longer than what normally we would do here for Charlotte. And we're doing 3 stages, so kind of like a little mini Coke 600.
Yeah,
I'm pretty excited. It's gonna be really, really fun, man.
Yeah, as am I. Like you said, first stage will conclude at lap 20, second stage at lap 50, and then the third stage at lap 90, and then the finish at 140. So before qualifying starts, I know we have a couple minutes. We kind of want to talk to last year's winner, and that was Matthew Fleming. So
Definitely.
we're gonna try to get a quick word with him right now, and we're gonna take it from there.
Well, Matthew Fleming, how's it going, man?
Good. How are you?
Hey, man, we're doing great up here in the booth. Looking down here at the charts, you're looking pretty good yourself, man. Right now, sitting about I don't know what 7th, 8th fast right now. Looking pretty good. How's the track feeling, and how do you think tonight's gonna go?
This track definitely feels different tonight. It is extremely tight. Something that I can't say I'm really used to here at Charlotte. Typically, we start out and the car's pretty loose or feeling pretty comfortable, but yeah, not tonight. So it'll be interesting to see here and how tire wear really affects it. So it'll be an interesting one, that's for sure.
So
For sure, yeah. AJ, go ahead. Sorry, man.
No, I was just gonna ask him a question. So with there being an extra stage here, how much is that gonna take into affect your strategy?
It's not really going to affect too much. I mean, we always want to win stages, get as many stage points as possible. Always be there at the end. Last year, that's the way it kind of worked out, and I was there at the end and ended up winning. So as planned for tonight is just be up front as much as possible, and try to get as many stage points as possible, and be there.
I'll tell you what, man. I mean, last season you looked really, really good here at Charlotte. Obviously, came back with the W. Actually, that was the time where you won back-to-back races, Darlington and then Charlotte. So, really good run for you back then. I guess 2 questions. One, do you think you can repeat that right now? I know qualifying is coming up in just a second, but you think you can replicate that? And what do you think the keys to the race are today?
It is a very different feel to the Charlotte. It is one of my favorite tracks. I always seem to have a pretty decent amount of luck here. So I'm not going to say, I'm not going to count us out of this. The key factors are all going to be who can survive on these tires. Like I mentioned, I mean, it is already starting out super tight. I see guys, I'm pretty sure we're going to see some accidents just because people are driving too hard, and then the tightness taking over and getting into guys. But I am really, really looking forward to this race. This is one that I had circled, just because of my previous luck. So, yeah.
Well, hey, man, we really appreciate you. Obviously, I mean, in the league and as a driver, I'll tell you what, Flem Dogs, please shout them out, because you're one of our the owner of Flem Dogs and also one of the Wheels America Cup Series associate sponsors, and we really appreciate you. So shout it out. tell the world what you got to say about it.
Oh yeah, I'm the proud owner of Flem Dogs Auto and Transmission Repair in Van Wert, Ohio. We work on just about anything. You bring it in, hey, there's no problems. Look us up on flemdogsautorepair.com. Give us a call or text 567-560-1478. And yeah, if you're ever in Van Wert, come check us out.
All right, Matthew Fleming there, guys. Hey, man, go out and qualify, put on a heater, and we'll see you in the race, baby.
Yes, sir.
All right, Steve, qualifying has started. How important is a front starting position here?
Oh, man, I'll tell you what. I mean, when it comes to strategy here, you're going to want to qualify up high. Definitely up high. As high, I don't know. Like for me, I'm gonna try and go out here right now and qualify as best I can, because quite frankly, I mean, Matt just talked about it, right? The track is kind of tight, not the best right now as far as like maybe comfortability or for some people's preferences. I want to be up on that list, and it's again, especially with it being tough to pass, be up there, block. This first stage is short. It's kind of a shootout. So we're gonna definitely see how it goes.
Yeah, so why don't we, as times are starting to come through qualifying, we're gonna take like a little different tactic here. Let's talk about those quick driver standings. Brandon Six has 3 wins. Matthew Fleming has 1. Brandon Bowie last week wins at Coda. Andrew Phipps has a win, and Dixon has a win. Out of the drivers yet to have a win, Diamond, Silver, Barroso, Tetro, Smith, Hissong, Leitz, King, Shelton, Lampier, and Duberman. And even the ones right underneath the cut line. Steve, who's your pick? Driver that doesn't have a win. Who can you see winning this?
Oh man, I'll tell you what. I mean, there's just so many guys, right? We have so many guys that can win a race at any point, I feel like. I mean, I know one guy we're not really talking a whole lot about because he's kind of still down there on the chart, but not really. I mean, he's plus 36 right now. Nick Lights, excuse me. Definitely a guy who I think can win in this series for sure. He's shown it over and over again. I think he's definitely one to watch. Definitely cannot count out Mitch Diamond or Frankie Barroso. I think those guys are definitely going to be winners this season. It's more just a matter of when, right? Because the competition is stiffer. Nick Silver, also, Jeff Tetro. I could go down this whole list and give you 10-minute explanations as to why these guys could win, man. It's just the depth chart is pretty long here, and but tonight I don't know. I've got a feeling the Prestige Worldwide team is going to take a little bit of a back seat. I think I'm going to kind of go bold strategy here and say we're going to get a new season 3 winner.
So I'm going to take a complete detour off of your listing just the people above the cut line. I'm actually going to go to a driver that's -12, and that is Jonathan Wright.
Okay. It's a great pick, man. I'll tell you what, great pick. Last year, actually, he was our pole sitter here with a 30.008 qualifying lap.
I was watching. I was 100% watching because you guys were never too far away from what I was doing. But let's take a quick snapshot at the team points now. Prestige Worldwide above everybody, sitting at an 855, over 100-point gap over Powerhouse.
Oh yeah,
that is huge.
It's pretty massive, man. I mean, I'll tell you what, they're looking really good. Obviously, that team is clicking on all cylinders, and I've got a feeling they're not going to slow down. It's playoff time is coming up. 5 races from now, and I mean, most of those guys are locked in, right? So it's going to be interesting. Keep in mind too, I mean, Dunkelberger, I know he's missed a couple races this year, but he is bad fast. And once he gets up in here, I think he's going to be a guy that can definitely win a race too. So I'll tell you what, Powerhouse isn't too far behind, but it's going to be a fight, man.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird. The Powerhouse we saw last year is completely different than the Powerhouse we see this year. A couple of different drivers, but it's not, 1, 2, 3, or, everybody up front. We're seeing Frankie kind of struggle a tad. We're seeing Meek struggle a little bit. I fully expect them to get it in gear by the time we get to playoff time. But it's something that we haven't seen in this league's 3 years of running. But with that being said, let's actually go into and watch some qualifying runs right now, because there is Jesse Erdman on your screen, puts a 30.42 on the board. Let's go take a look at Matthew Fleming, driver of the 88. Can't thank him enough for coming and talking with us earlier. If you want to go back and listen to that interview, it's about 5 minutes ago. It was just Steve, myself, and Matthew just kicking it, talking about the race today. He is last year's winner as he's going down the backstretch for the first time under power. Let's see how he does.
I'll tell you what, and after these guys are qualifying and as they're putting on these fast laps, I'll tell you what, a lot of these guys are going to try and get to the front of the pack for sure, and qualify well. But I will say a couple of these keys to the races, I know Matt kind of talked about it. You know, like right now the track is pretty tight. It's going to get tighter, right? This is a day into night transition race, so it's going to get a lot tighter. The track is going to change, right? So I think one of those keys is going to be, okay, who can manage their car getting tighter, right? Who can last on tires, right? Tires is going to be a huge storyline today, because these drivers, besides the set that they start on with, only get 4. So if you do the math, right? I mean, you know, there's 3 stage brakes, 4 stages. I mean, so tires are going to play a huge role into this, because when you really think about it, they're going to wear pretty quick, man. I'll tell you what, these tires after 10 laps, they're not great.
I wasn't even going to give it 10 laps. With how tight these cars are, they're going to be sawing the wheel to the left.
Oh, big time. I mean, they fall off pretty hard here. So it's all going to come down to who can maintain their tires. And I'm going to call it right now. And I mentioned it pre-race. I think the stage 1 break is going to be the best time to save one of those tire sets. You know, I think we're going to see one guy, maybe 2, I don't know, maybe a whole team come down stage 1 and only fuel up and not get tires, right? Save those tires for stage 2, or maybe even a caution, you know, in that stage 2 area. And, you know, have that extra set of tires at the end of the race. I think that'll be massive of an advantage for that driver. So we'll see a lot of things at play here. I mean, right now we're looking at, Josh King, right now topping the charts with a 30.24, looking really good right now, man.
Yeah, Josh King, a couple weeks in a row. We're not going to count Coda there for obvious reasons. But a couple weeks on oval tracks, very good. Like, he's been raising his stock very quickly, and it looks like he's been able to hold it there, as Jonathan Wright is on his second lap, coming to the line right now, sitting at P20. Let's see what he can move up to. He will go P6. Not bad at all. Let's take a look at Brandon 6, 3-time winner so far this season. Just about a minute and a half left in qualifying. There he goes down the backstretch.
I'll tell you what, just a huge thanks to these guys. I know a lot of these drivers are watching the race after the fact. Just want a huge shout out to all the drivers in this league. I mean, right now we're sitting at a group of 33 guys in this grid, so going to be yet again another full field. And
P1 Brandon 6 goes top of the board by 0.06.
Oh, we saw that coming. Come on. A great run for him. Yeah, he's flying, man. And we only have a little under a minute for qualifying. But yeah, a huge shout out to those guys. But I'll tell you what, first and foremost, huge shout out to our servicemen and women out there. This race is all about honoring the frontline workers and veterans out there. So thank you so much for all you do. We're going to be doing a bit of a little pre-race festivity here in just a second that you guys will see. And we're going to honor our veterans and whatnot in the field. So AJ, I'm going to take off a little bit and go join them for a minute and go trackside just to kind of get some things organized, and take it away, man.
All right, brother. Well, can't wait to have you back, but it is time to honor our heroes, whether it's military, any branch of the military, a doctor, firefighter, police officer, EMS, any essential worker, I personally, myself, if Reese were here, I'd probably talk for him too. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. You know, we couldn't have gotten through these last couple years, and then the military 100+ years if it was not for all of you. But let's talk about the starting lineup here for the Honor Our Heroes 350 from Charlotte Motor Speedway. On your screen, there it is. Brandon 6, Josh King are your row 1. Row number 2, it's Andrew Phipps, Ryan Libby. Row number 3, Ryan Dunkelberger and Matt Smith. John Wright and Thomas Meeks are your row number 4. Row number 5, Nick Leitz, Matthew Fleming. Row 6, Nick Silver, Nick Biddy. Row 7, Jeff Tetro and Matt Opliner. Row 8, Anthony Williams and Jesse Erdman. Row number 9, Luke Duberman and Mitch Diamond. Row number 10, Josh Larson and Robert Hissong. And the rest of the field will pass through on your screen. Very excited to have everybody here tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to all our sponsors in the bottom right-handed corner. Whether it is... try to get everything right now. Whether it is Highline Motorsports Custom Paints, Admin Box, Flem Dogs. You heard Matthew Fleming talk about Flem Dogs. Or the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. Thank you all for being a part of the Wheels America Cup Series. As we're gridding, we're going to have some festivities for the evening tonight.
Hang on, we're not going green.
There it is. There we are, pushing it just a tad. This is a afternoon race. We are going to end under the lights, under the beautiful North Carolina sky. 140 laps will be our distance. Steve was talking about it earlier. I'm really curious to see how strategy is going to take effect. Do people take tires stage 1? Do people wait? It's going to be very interesting. But we're going to go on a couple cams here. But there it is. One of our first responders and one of the coolest people I have ever talked to. There it is, Brandon Shelton. Right next to him, as I'm looking for the 22.
Hang on, we're not going green. Not going green.
And the fine Corvu on there he is. Wow, that was difficult. But there they are, running the field right now. Huge thank you to them and everything they do. Tonight's gonna be fun, but do not forget all the people that allow us to do what we do. And what I said before, whether it's any branch of the military, firefighters, police, EMS, doctors, truly, you know, this race is for you guys. Hopefully we put on one hell of a show. And right out front, that is Brandon Shelton in the 2 Honeybee Acres and Mike Koravu in the 22q.org. So with that being said, are you guys ready for some racing tonight? Chat room is open. Talk to us. Make sure you all hit that subscribe button, same as that like button. It helps out the channel a lot. And when I say a lot, the more likes we get, the higher the algorithm we go when somebody types in iRacing or eNASCAR. So smash that like button, everybody, as we are going to get set up. I wouldn't be surprised if we burn another lap. But we are about to go green in probably a half a lap to a lap and a half. It all depends on how fast Brandon Shelton and Mike Corvo get to their positions. Well, so far so good. Your top 10 as they qualified. It is Brandon 6, Josh King on his outside. Phipps, Libby, Dunkelberger, Smith, Meeks, Wright, Fleming, Leitz. Here we go. And green is in the air. We are a go here for our Heroes 350 as they fly into turn 1 at speed. Right now it's Josh King on the outside. Ooh, little loose. That's 66 bouncing off the apron. Josh King is going to bring Ryan Libby on that outside. Can that 46 hold that inside lane? These cars are going to get very tight as they come off of turn 4 heading to the line. Awesome shot.
All right, we're back, AJ.
All right. That was very nice. You guys always do it well, but Ryan Libby to the point using that inside lane.
I'll tell you what, AJ, this first stage, keep in mind, is 20 laps, only 20. So it's kind of a shootout. Oh, Josh King bounces off the turn 4 wall right there.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, no fast repairs. That's going to be, that's going to hurt him.
Yeah, we saw that. Here comes Matt Smith as well to the inside of that Brothers Shelf diecast number 7 of Josh King. Looking through the field right now, everybody so close together, it's pretty crazy. Huge battle still for that third position. Right behind them is the 25 of Andrew Phipps. Going down the backstretch, still flying like a bat out of hell. Phipps will take 4th place, pushing Josh King, who started 2nd, back to 5th. Starting to think that there's some damage on the right side of that number 7, because Donkelberger just made the pass off the inside. Or,
yep,
you know, he did tap the wall, but this could all be a strategy play. Maybe not tapping the wall part, but letting everybody burn their stuff up, because he is sinking like a rock.
That definitely is a strategy, but the way that I saw him bounce off that wall, there's no way he doesn't have damage. He is hurting right now.
It was that hard, huh?
A little bit.
Steve Tucker, AJ Capola in the broadcast booth for the Honor Our Heroes 350 from Charlotte Motor Speedway. You're watching the Wheels America Racing Network. Ryan Libby out to a pretty good gap for being from starting in 4th position right to P1. But here comes Brandon 6 after popping the apron on lap 1 and having to regroup. He's saying, I want lead. I got pole. Let's go.
Hey, so breaking news just out of the camp here. I'm hearing word that Frankie Barroso actually, he was in the race. He's actually unable to race right now. He's having some pretty severe computer issues or some kind of malfunction. So he actually didn't start the race, didn't qualify. And that might be huge playoff implications right now.
That is absolutely huge. He was pretty well into the playoffs on points, but early on in the season, this is where you want it to happen. You don't want it to happen when you're fighting for that last spot, but I wouldn't be surprised if Frankie bounces back and gets a win in the coming weeks.
Oh, for sure, man. He's definitely capable, if not one of the most capable here in the field. A little bit, Anthony Williams kind of getting a little high there and out of shape in turn 2, looking pretty good now. Michael Bennett making the move back here in the pack for 22nd against last week's winner, Brandon Bowie, fresh off that Coda win, looking really good. Not really sure if Bowie's trying to kind of stay, kind of lay low a bit, in this first stage. I mean, obviously doesn't really need the actual points with the win, and he's locked in now. So. Seems like he's just kind of out there cruising, man. Again, he might be one of those guys who's going to try and, follow that strategy, like I said earlier, right? Where he takes maybe, no tires in this first stage and just kind of saves those tires, riding around in the back. So I'm going to be interested to see how this works out, man. But he's one to watch right now.
Well, we've watched him for the last half a lap. It looks like he's doing a very good job backing up his corners. And then when he gets on the gas, those Goodyear Eagles stick to the asphalt, and he just goes.
Absolutely.
You'll see it again here, because he'll pull away from Ryan Pasoko right into Jesse Erdman's draft from the 45.
One thing, too, looking back in the pack, Brian Dixon, right? Our winner from Atlanta, the newly repaved Atlanta, that crazy race, crazy finish. But right now sitting in P30th, which I believe right now is actually last on track. Again, this might be a guy, who kind of, let's be honest, kind of walked into that win, right? But he's also a guy who's pretty smart, knows how to win a race, knows how to, be in a position to win a race. So I think he's also one to watch out for. These faster guys in the back of the pack, they're not back here because they're not fast, right? They're back here because they're trying to make a strategy go and play and work.
Well, let me put it this way: when it comes to winning a race, they don't ask you how it happened. They just care about that it did happen.
Absolutely.
But heading back towards the front, Ryan Libby and Brandon Six. A little bit of a gap forming. Oh,
See some action kind of back in the pack here. Jeff Teacher's making a pretty good move here for 13th, actually 12th here, against his teammate of Jonathan Wright. Making a good move. Luke Doberman shortly behind him. These guys are kind of moving forward. Right now it's lap 12. We've got 8 laps to go until the stage 1 ends. Again, these guys are trying to fight for stage points, trying to get that 10th, 9th place points.
Yeah, biggest mover right now. It is Brandon Bowie in that 34. Up 8 positions, sitting in 19th. Trying to get by Ronnie Outlaw in that 27 now. As they are
right
side
now we're
by
seeing
side right behind them.
Oh, right now it's crazy. Right now we're seeing Ryan Libby, leading this thing. This guy is bad fast too. Definitely has had a lot of bad luck. Brandon Six, obviously a 3-time winner right now, in the league or in the series. Kind of catching Libby, not nothing extreme. He's kind of just sitting there right now. But these guys are obviously not saving their tires, right? So these guys aren't going to be on that strategy where they're going to try and save a set. But right behind him, we get Matt Smith looking really good right now in P3. Andrew Phipps trying to make a move here on the inside.
Matt Smith in the wall out of turn 4. That's going to give a nice hole shot to Andrew Phipps into turn 1.
Andrew Phipps takes it out of turn 1, dives on the inside, takes it out of 2, easy. Matt Smith is going to follow behind down the back straightaway and get that draft. Try and set him up for a pass on stage in turn 3.
Now, that didn't look as bad of a hit as we saw Josh King have. But going back to the 14th position, Duberman and Wright, as Duberman
right now
gets really tight.
Yeah, Duberman kind of gets into the side of John Wright there in turns 3 and 4. Kind of sends John Wright back a little bit. He's going to have to recollect himself and kind of get back there.
Now, when you're setting up these vehicles, are you trying to set it up for what it's going to be at night and just deal with it how it is while there's still daylight out?
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I mean, these setups are fixed setups, right? So there's really not a whole lot you can do. You can fix brake bias, you can fix the master cylinders, things like that. So as far as a fixed setup, it's more so, like driver, right? You have to, like if the car is tight, you're gonna have to start to give it up a little more on corner entry. That way you can kind of power through it on corner exit. Right now, as we see Jeff Teacher taking that pass around Nick Biddy, looking really good for 10th. Right now, locked in that 10th place.
Well, with that stage coming up, so he probably wants to get away from Nick Biddy. As they're going through 3 and 4, they see Nick Leitz right in front of them. We're actually going to jump on board via the gyro cam on Jeff Tetro. Not using that 5th gear, it looks like. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, 5th gear, from what I'm understanding, is definitely the way to go on this track. I mean, 4th gear, it kind of sets your car up a little tighter, entering the corners. Speaking of which, Brandon 6 right now took the lead kind of commandingly from Ryan Libby, as right now we come 1 to go to the end of stage 1.
Yeah, there it is. And pulling away fast. Wow. Maybe save just enough tire to get by Libby and just go. But here's the battle for the 4th position. Dunkelberger to the inside of Matt Smith has the position. Can he clear him?
Caution, yellow flag.
And well, he'll definitely get P4 Dunkelberger. Wow, what a amazing first stage. What a very fast stage, actually. I always say we have professionals in this league, but we do. So while we are under our first caution of the evening, we're going to go side by side to say thank you to some of our sponsors.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Alright, everybody, thank you to Admin Box, Wheels America, and the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. You saw that in your side-by-side. Nick Leitz stays out. Kind of curious on what the strategy is there. Steve, got anything on that? When Steve gets back, we will we'll get his 2 cents on that. But real fast, let's see if we could talk to the driver of the 66, Brandon 6. Looking for him in by Discord. There he is. Brandon 6, AJ and Steve in the broadcast booth. Do you have a copy, pal?
How's it going, fellas?
Hey,
What's up?
What a pretty dominant pass you made on Ryan Libby. Talk about how you set that up, and congratulations on your stage 1 win.
Yeah, I was honestly just trying to conserve my tires there after I apparently figured out very quickly first gear does not work on the start, so I know not to do that now. But yeah, just bided my time, saving the right front, and then once it was, I could tell he was starting to get tight and wash up the track. Just set up my move, and it wasn't too bad of a pass to make since he, like I said, he burned up his right front.
Brandon, tell me real quick. I mean, we're going to come to green here in just a second, but I've got a feeling, and I kind of call this in the pre-race, but actually we're coming to 2 to go right now. Tires. I mean, obviously tires are a big deal right now. Are you worried about, somebody maybe right now not taking tires and then maybe making these tires last until the next, set, right? The next stage. And then now these guys have an extra set at the end. I mean, tell us about that strategy. Is that viable, or what are you guys looking at?
It's probably viable. I mean, I know based on the strategy I kind of figured out going into this race, I figured I'll have at least one set as like an extra at the end in case we get a late race caution. I can come down, throw them one, because it's definitely going to be important to have, I think, a set late for if we do have a late race caution, because otherwise you're just going to get blown by.
Yeah, that's why you need to protect those tires, and strategy is huge here. Well, we'll let you get ready to go back racing as you have about a lap and a half before you go green. Good luck in stage 2, pal.
Thanks, guys.
Prestige Worldwide, right?
Yes.
All right. That was stage 1 winner, Brandon 6. Steve, are you ready for stage 2?
Whew, I am so ready, man. I'll tell you what, 30 laps to go. Again, these stages get a little longer every time. Stage 2, these guys can make it on fuel, so not going to be an issue. But tires are still going to, maybe play a role, definitely more of a role than it was last time. And I'll tell you what, after that, it's going to start to get real interesting, man.
Yeah. Honestly, we saw Nick lead that lap, and then come down pit road the following lap. I don't think he took tires. I think he just took fuel. And maybe that's him just trying to just stay out of everybody's way now.
Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, right now I'm looking at P2 Luke Doberman, right? I mean, he's sitting there in P2. Not sure if he took tires at all, but that's someone to look out for. I think he might have, done that strategy. Mitch Diamonds, I'm pretty sure he was back in like 12th or 13th. So I've got a feeling he might have done some, some trickery. So we'll see how the stage goes. We'll definitely see, if these guys made that strat, because they're probably going to fall back here pretty hard. But I'll tell you what, man, defending winner Matt Fleming, we talked to him pre-race, sitting in P5, 1 to go. Yeah, this thing is just getting started, man.
He's moved up. Our biggest mover of the race right now is sitting in that second position. You mentioned him just a moment ago. It is Luke Duberman, up 15 positions. That's insane for a 20-lap stage. That is almost a pass a lap. But
oh, yeah.
We're coming to turn 4. We're going to have that pace car take that dive into pit road, and we're going to get stage 2 started. There it goes, and into the restart zone, Brandon 6. And there it is, green flag in the air. A hell of a launch by that 66. I'm going to bring Mitch Diamond on the inside with him, and Matthew Fleming wants some of that. He blinks for a second there. That outside lane, Luke Duberman just had everybody check up behind him. Did not go.
Tell you what, Matt Fleming making that move right there. Mitch Diamond kind of falling back pretty hard. I bet he was one of those guys, again, keep in mind, who took no tires, I bet. But Brandon 6 right now making a commanding lead.
Matthew Fleming having some issues right there. Nick Silver's probably very much worried when he comes back into frame. This is one heck of a battle for second place here.
I mean, Nick Silver right here, right now he's kind of in the playoff picture. He's second. He's got the second most points out of the drivers who don't have any, points right now. So, or playoff points, excuse me, or wins. So he's looking for the win. He's definitely capable of winning. And I'll tell you what, he's looking really, really good. But let's not discount the man in P4 right now, Thomas Meeks. crazy good performance, looking really, really good. Honestly, really fast. I saw his lap times back in practice on Wednesday, and I'll tell you what, this guy's looking fast, bad fast, man. And Matthew Smith right here, P5. I mean, we have the powerhouse boys right here, all in the top 5, looking real good.
We got
Frankie,
go to
unfortunately, isn't here.
P7 here, and a little bit further back because they are side by side. And Brandon Bowie on a charge.
Look at Nick Biddy trying to make that move on the inside, trying to pass 2 cars. And it's successful, looking really good. Wow. I'll tell you what. I think my suspects are correct, AJ. I don't think Mitch took tires right there.
I don't think he did either.
And then look right behind him, Luke Doberman. These guys didn't take tires.
And if they did, they had one cruddy restart. As we have a car on the apron.
Ben Madden going, falling back hard right now. Right behind him. Losing a lot of time, trying to catch back up, it seems like. Didn't seem like he got into anybody. Not hearing anything over the radio, that's good.
No, I think he just clipped the apron and just had to save the car. But looking up front still, being led by Brandon Six, followed by Matthew Fleming, Nick Silver, Thomas Meeks, and Matt Smith. Single file up front for the time being, but we're going to go back to Robert Hissong in that number 29 Freedom Under Armour machine as I make Steve cringe just a tad. But Hissong with a very fast car too, up 9 positions.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they are 3 wide right behind them though. Started with Chris Buds, Jonathan Wright, and on the inside there with the 82, Matt Opplinger.
Hey, and I will say right now, I mean, again, going back to that stage 2 restart, right? I mean, Nick Lights was the leader, starting at the beginning of it, or at least, he didn't pit on that cycle. Right now, sitting in 24th. This is a guy who's definitely fast. I think this is a strategy play for sure. So right now, I think this whole race, starting at this point, everything kind of changes when it comes to strategy, right? Because tires come into play. Again, fuel's not really, big or involved in this race like it was maybe last week at Coda. So I think today we're going to see a lot of tire strategy, and I think we're seeing a lot of it play out right now with a couple guys.
Yeah, you're seeing Nick Leeds battle right there with Ryan Dunkelberger. They're side by side. That extreme outside for Leeds. Luke Doberman. Oh, wow. This looks like something we've seen at Atlanta recently, how they were side by side there, but Hissong, taps the wall a little bit, but still under power and still very fast. Doberman and Hissong still leading those 2x2 cars.
I'll tell you what, man, that gap is definitely closed up front. I mean, Brandon Six still leading this thing, but Matt Fleming is right there.
And they brought company. Top 4 under a blanket. Almost under a half a second, too. If I were the 88 of Fleming, I would just try to stay in the 66 tire tracks. Save a little bit of fuel, save a little bit of tire. You don't want to push overly hard.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, at this point, right? I mean, fuel's not really an issue this stage, but tires, you're going to want to take care of them. I mean, this stage, has only just begun. We still have 24 laps to go within this stage. So, anything can definitely happen. 14 laps. So anything can definitely happen. Matt Fleming kind of making a peak right there on the inside. Didn't decide to actually take advantage of it, but he's hungry.
Well, he might have to take it because he has Silver right on his back bumper, and if he doesn't take it, Silver is going to overtake him.
Silver trying to make the pass on the outside right now, out of turn 4.
Nice.
Turn 3.
Nice run there. all gonna take effect on how well Silver goes through 3 and 4. And it
I'll
looks
tell you
like,
what, he's kind of making it work.
looks like Fleming kind of tapped took his foot off the gas there for just a split second. Needed to set the car, and that's all the 99 needed. Actually gonna jump on board with Matthew Fleming.
Yeah, let's give the folks at home some cool camera angles. Let's give them the inside, the gyros. See what these guys are doing. Nick Silver making a dive down on the inside here in turn 3. Side by side, Brandon Silver, his teammate.
Nick Silver said, "Hey, go. You can lead this lap. I'll see you in a couple more."
We'll see. Brandon 6 still leads that lap. But they're side by side. Someone's going to dive deep in here.
This is bringing everybody in the cavalry under a blanket.
Exactly. Not too far back, Matt Smith and Jeff Tetro. Tetro kind of snuck into this picture now. This battle is too good. All the leaders under a blanket. Nick Silver here almost got into him. On the outside, at the line. Still side by side. Going into turn 1. Up high. He's going to get a run here out of 2. Doesn't quite get it done. Obviously, these guys aren't saving tires. So they are not too concerned about it. I will keep in mind, though, guys, you know what? I shouldn't say it, AJ. I don't want to jinx it. But we have yet to have a caution for an incident.
Why did you say that?
I had to.
It's like
the race is so good so far.
It's like you're wanting it to happen, like wishing it into existence.
Well, you know, I mean, I don't want it, right? I don't want someone's race to end, but at the same time, I mean, these boys are going to start getting racy pretty soon here.
Here comes Silver again to that outside. They have stayed side by side for about 2.5 laps now as 6 gets a good run through 3 and 4.
And you know what? If I'm Fleming, I'm just sitting here in P3 watching it because I'm going to save my tires. I'll let these boys wear them out. And then at the end of this stage, fly right by them.
Gonna drop it back to P13 real fast as Mitch Diamond, Ryan Pasoko, and Luke Dauberman, pretty much same instance, all under a blanket. And there's Ben Madden in the 33, recovering very well.
I'll tell you what, these guys right now, the guys who didn't take tires in stage 1, your strategy right now is to not go a lap down right now. Because if you can get to the end of stage 2 without going a lap down, you're golden.
Well, right now we have one car 1 lap down, and that's Ronnie Outlaw.
As Matt Fleming tries to go on the inside of Nick Silver here into turn 3. Trying to make a dive down. Nick might have used his tires up trying to get around 6.
In the same camp as you, pal. And Matthew Fleming is just gonna, hold his line, not door slam Silver, and should make this pass relatively easy if he saved as much tires as we thought he did.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Nick Biddy right now in P9, P8, and then Ronnie Outlaw actually is not on the last lap or the lap down. Looks like SDK might be having an issue or our scoring pylon, but Ronnie's looking pretty good right now in P9. And then P10, a guy we don't talk about, had a great run at COTA. Jesse Erdman looking really good. Definitely has found his momentum as of late. COTA definitely gave him a lot of confidence for sure in the car, and he's just been really good. He's been posting fast laps in the practices, so good to see him in a position to get playoff points.
Yeah, good job to Jesse Erdman. Progress is nice to see when somebody's working very hard with it. But that battle for second is still heating up, and then just right behind him, you have Thomas Meeks, Matt Smith, and Brandon Bowie creeping almost into that top 5.
A couple guys back here kind of in the teens right now. I mean, I got to say, a couple of good showings. Ben Madden right now in P17. Making the pass around Ryan Pasoko. Pasoko's actually kind of falling back here, getting almost passed by Brandon Shelton, but Ben Madden again got that EOL because of the penalty from Kansas. And right now, definitely looking pretty good. Pretty confident in that car, looks like, keeping it straight. So, good run for him so far.
Yeah, very good run. As we're watching first responder and one of the heroes we like to talk about, and at the beginning of the race, we had that parade lap just for him and Mike Corvu, putting a nice battle together with Ryan Pasoko. Brandon Shelton is.
Absolutely.
Gonna jump back up to P4 as it is Brandon Bowie inside the top 5, wanting more, giving Matt Smith pretty much almost all he can handle. As I think we are coming to the white flag here.
Yes, sir. We are 1 to go in this stage already, just like that.
And you said it was going to take long. I shouldn't have said that.
I'll tell you what, big props to these guys. Hey, in the chat right here, Gary Wells II says, go 6. Bluegill says, let's go his song. Bunch of fans up here in the Wheels America Racing Network chat. Love to see it.
Yeah, Steve Tucker says, what's up?
Who's that guy?
But Brandon 6 coming out of turn number 4, heading to the line. He will win stage 2 here for the Honor Hour Heroes 350. Not as dominant of a performance as we saw at the beginning of stage 1 and then the resurgence at the end of stage 1, but he definitely made it interesting with Silver and Fleming right behind him. 4th place in the stage goes to Matthew Smith, 5th to Brandon Bowie, 6th to Jeff Tetro, Thomas Meeks 7th, Nick Biddy 8th, 9th goes to Ronnie Outlaw, and 10th in the points positions for the stage 2 Jesse Urban.
So, hey, I'll tell you what, I mean, while these guys are kind of getting lined up, let's head back to our sponsors, give them a big thank you, and we'll be back in a second.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Alright, everybody, thank you to Admin Box, Flem Dog, Nerds Doing Nerd Things Podcast, Wheels America. Thank you all for being sponsors of this wonderful league. We're actually going to get a quick word with, trying to find him, Jeff Tetro here. Jeff Tetro, AJ and Steve in the broadcast booth. Do you have a copy, pal?
Jay, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing? How's the car feel out there? We hear it's really tight.
It gets tight later on in the room, but it's pretty spongy. My way of saying spongy. It feels pretty good. Neutral. First, say 15 laps or so, and then it goes on the tight side. But this 87 car's fast, and I think we have something for him tonight.
Yeah, you're definitely showing it up 8 positions from where you started. Steve, do you have anything for the 87?
Yes, sir, I do. First of all, I mean, you can't miss your paint scheme out there. Looking real good. Second of all, what's the tire strat looking like right now? Right now, we're entering stage 3. Nighttime's about to approach, right? We're in that day-night cycle part of it. I mean, like, what are you thinking, right? Because tires are kind of coming into play. I've got a feeling a couple guys, maybe some of your teammates, didn't take tires at stage 1. So, what's the vibe right now?
Well, they're predicting the future. The future looks bright. So,
It does.
I think it's just the luck of, or just you throw it in a hat and say, all right, we're going to take tires or we're not going to take tires. I decided to take tires.
Yeah.
And I have one less set. So, I'm thinking somewhere down the line, I'm hoping we're going to get some help.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, man, right now we're coming to 1 to go. We look forward to seeing you moving up to the front. Right now, sitting in P5. I'll tell you what, putting on a show that right now I can't believe between you and me that this hasn't gone yellow yet. I'm not going to jinx it, but so far, so good.
Strategy.
And, whoa, hold on now.
People coming down pit road, probably just to top off. And that's going to give you the lead.
Yes, it will.
There you go. There's the extra point, buddy.
All right.
All right, man. We'll bring you back to your team, buddy. Good luck with the rest of the race and put on a show, buddy.
Alrighty. Thank you, guys.
That was the driver of the 87 City Chevrolet, Jeff Tetro. I was not expecting to have all those cars duck down pit road. But it seemed like everybody was on that same strategy within the top 8 drivers.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's see. I'll tell you what. So now, AJ, we're gonna start getting into this time where it's strat's gonna be kind of weird, right? Fuel. I don't really see fuel as an issue. I could be wrong, but I don't really see it as an issue. But here's the thing: these drivers now, this next stage is 40 laps, so drivers absolutely have to pit no matter what they do. So whether it be for tires or just gas or splash and go, whatever it is. A green flag pit stop, if it goes green, has to happen. If a couple yellows happen, that might have to be a thing too. But the way we're looking right now, that could be huge. So these guys are coming down, getting a splash. I doubt they're getting tires. So we'll see how it plays out. But Jeff Tetro leading this thing, coming to 1 to go here.
Jeff Tetro, Nick Biddy, your front row. And look at all those cars. It looks like
Tetro gets a great start. Unbelievable
spun
start.
those tires. As Matt Opplinger right behind him, trying to take that inside lane away from Biddy.
Oh yeah, Ben Madden. Oh, Paselka almost gets into the back of Joe DeVede. Trying to get some loose there. Ben Madden right behind there in P6.
Look at that, up 23 positions.
Oh, Joe DeVede in the wall right here in turn 4 now.
He's going to fall back quite a bit.
Comes down. Ben Madden, I can't say enough about him. P6 right now. P7, I believe, or P8 actually, as he crosses the line, but looking really, really good there. I mean, obviously, a lot of these guys kind of were handed these great spots up here because a lot of guys chose to come down pit road and get that splash of gas or whatever it was. So
there's
a lot of, yeah, I mean, a lot of these slower guys, don't mean that in a bad way, but slower guys are up front and the faster guys in the back. So this is going to create, one of those scenarios where something might happen. So we'll see.
A great race analysis once said, if you're doing the exact same thing as the leaders, you're not going to beat them.
Exactly.
Look at this, Ben Madden now getting passed by 2 cars on the outside. That's Robert Hissong and Luke Doberman. Gonna go back a little further. Michael Bennett and the 7 of Josh King. Josh King rebounding after that lap 1 outside wall incident, trying to fight his way back.
I'll tell you what, a lot of these guys who came down pit road to try and, take a splash of gas, I mean, Brandon 6, Matt Fleming, all those guys, right? Right now, they're mired back in like 16th is where Brandon 6 is. This puts them in a position where now they're kind of in the middle of the pack. It's definitely dangerous territory. So they got to make sure to get through this pack cleanly and to not, to not get involved in an accident.
Yeah, you really got to be careful. No fast repairs like we've seen all season long. Brandon 6 in some serious unfamiliar territory in P18.
I'll tell you what, all the while, Nick Biddy right now is sitting in P1 looking real good. Nick Lights, hard charging on those fresh tires, about to pass Biddy, it looks like here. Probably on the outside, going to make that move.
Huge cluster of cars within your top 9 here.
Here we go, Lights on the outside of Nick Biddy for the lead. Going into 3.
Oh, if it
Oh,
sticks,
can he make
has
it?
it. It looked like, oh!
Ooh, kisses the wall, just a tooch.
Woo! That was intense. Gonna go back a little further to Jeff Tetro as Doberman is trying to make that pass out of turn 2. And completes it before they even get close to turn 3. This is one of the longer stages of the evening. Stage 3 concludes at lap 90. I'm thinking a pit stop right about halfway. What do you think, Steve?
I'll tell you what, these cars can go about 30 laps on fuel, give or take. In the stage right now, obviously, it's 40 laps. So, in the stage didn't get going for a couple laps into it. So, I bet we see guys pit with about anywhere between 8 to 10 laps to go in this stage.
You think they're going to wait that long? And I would have thought, Brandon 6 to try to gain a lot of track position back would try to maybe undercut them because he's currently sitting in 18th, not going anywhere.
Yeah, this is one of those positions where you either want to, be the first to come in or the last person to come in. Because at this point, somebody might try and take a set of tires here, right? If they have an extra set to try and, give them that extra speed boost, right? So a lot of strats are going to come into play. We're probably not going to see them, completely fulfilled until stage 4. Anthony Williams,
slow
coming into the pits right here.
Slow on the apron.
Car looks completely fine, but definitely maybe a strat call right here, trying to see if he can make the way all the way to the end. If he fuels up right now, I mean, he'll go 31 laps. He could definitely make it if he saves gas, but this is a interesting call for sure.
And you want to know who's really hard charging right now? It's the driver of the number 26. Ryan Dunkelberger is absolutely hauling it right now. In turn 1, he passed Josh King like he was stopped, and in turn 3 and 4, same thing with Mitch Diamond. And here comes Jeff Tetro. Goodbye.
How's it going? And see you later.
Hey, how's your race? Goodbye. See you later. He's using that 5th gear. Let's see if he downshifts at all to 4th mid-turn. No, he's going to keep it in 5th gear, even though the RPMs are just a tad low. But he is closing in on Joseph David in that 6th, sitting in 8th place. We've seen David kind of slow up just a tad after tapping the wall and then riding the wall afterwards.
I've been watching David throughout this race so far. He's been kind of on an island for the majority of the race, not really around anybody, which is kind of nice, right? Because you're not really getting involved in issues or whatnot. So definitely a solid race for him. We have Reef Fossils in the chat saying go Lights. Bunch of fans in here. Love to see it. Guys, if you're in the chat, first of all, thanks for being here. And second of all, shout out your favorite. Who you're watching? Who do you want to win this thing?
Absolutely.
And hit the like button, subscribe button, just hit all the buttons and see what happens. I don't know.
Just not the thumbs down one. Please don't hit that one.
That's true. Yeah, not that one.
But Nick Leeds, your leader right now. Followed by Nick Biddy in second. Third is Luke Doberman. Fourth, Ryan Pasoko. Fifth to Matt Opplinger. Sixth to Jesse Erdman. Seventh, Ben Madden. Eighth, Joseph David. And ninth, Ryan Dunkelberger. That's your top 10 as they run on lap 68 of 90 for stage 3. Any surprises for you, Steve?
Well, I'll tell you what, right now it's tough, right? Because right now, we have a lot of comers and goers. So a lot of strategy right now, a lot of different guys, on tire strats or fuel strat, a lot of different things in play right now. So right now we're seeing some guys up front that aren't normally there, but they're there necessarily because obviously they're fast, but then two, because the guys before this stage were leading and now they're in the back. So I think at this point, the field is kind of all over the place. It's kind of hard to judge, what people are doing. Obviously, we know Brandon 6th, Fleming, those kind of guys right now sitting in 15th through about 20th. Those guys are the ones to look out for, I think. I think those guys are the ones who are maybe on one of the better strats, I would say. But then we can't discount people like a Mitch Diamond or a Luke Doberman. Those guys we know didn't take tires in that stage 1.
Well, you bring up Brandon 6, Thomas Meeks, Matthew Fleming. There's a 20-plus second gap between 6 and Nick Leeds. That is huge.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
And with a longer stage comes into the, am I going to get lapped? As Biddy hits pit road.
Exactly. Biddy right now and Joe DeVito are actually both on pit road getting lapped right now, but it seems like they're coming down for fuel. Looks like 4 tires as well from my angle here on both of these cars, so they'll be one to watch here for sure. I don't know if they're going to pit this next time by as far as the stages is concerned, but it's going to be pretty interesting from here on out for them.
Well, do you think when the first couple cars of the lead pack come down, do you think that kind of forces the hand of everybody else?
Well, it depends, right? I mean, if you're on the same strategy as the leaders, then yes. If you're not, then you're just fine. Because I feel like at this point, whatever bed that you laid out at the beginning of this thing, or even stage 1 break, now you're in it, right? So now you really can't shift it. You can if a kind of a rogue yellow comes out here and something, weird happens that it can kind of neutralize the field.
Very tight. Very tight. He's going to have Ryan Pasoko to his inside. As Nick Leeds is almost 3 seconds ahead of this secondary pack.
Loving that new paint scheme by Doberman, by the way. Pack panel says, thank you, vets. Really appreciate that. Again, just huge thanks to all of our servicemen and women. And honestly, our local heroes who are just fighting, everyday battles that we can't even imagine. So a huge shout out to them. But I'll tell you what, another guy I'm looking at, Jesse Erdman right now sitting in P4. I mean, unreal race right now. Ben Madden sitting in P5. I mean, these guys, I'll tell you what, are looking real good. Normally these guys on ovals, it's not really their thing, right? These guys are kind of road guys, definitely like those kind of tracks. But these guys right now are putting on an absolute show, having a career race for for them. So really proud to see these guys for them, or these guys up front, racing clean.
Everybody talks about how super speedway racetracks are an equalizer. Everybody has the same chance at winning.
Right.
I kind of want to throw in Charlotte as well, because when you sign up for this sim, this is one of the first tracks you are put on, and you get familiar with it. You have to run X amount of races. I think when you come to Charlotte on iRacing, everybody's most likely going to be good.
Oh, for sure. It's one of those tracks that, again, it's the home to NASCAR, right? It's the home track. Watching this, Matt Fleming actually just gets into the back of Brandon 6, apologizes over the radio coming out of turn 4, but definitely starting to get aggressive. Dunkelberger over the radio says he's pitting now. So
that's from
again, here comes strategy.
He goes off the racetrack.
Josh Larson making a bold move over Matt Fleming. Now going to try and also pass Brandon 6. 6 might be pitting here. Can't really tell, but he's definitely slowing down. Hasn't called it out yet. Getting passed by everybody.
Maybe it was just an issue coming off of turn 2.
Yeah, he's real slow. Unless he's trying to save. Maybe he just noticed something. Maybe his, crew chief told him, "Hey, we can make it." I don't know, but I mean, right now, Josh King coming over the radio into pit road, and we only have AJ 13 laps to go in stage number 3. Don't normally have 3 stages. Keep that in mind as well. This is going to be
Ben Madden, Josh
definitely
King
different.
on pit road. And just looking at the distance between Nick Leitz and looking for the 66, that's 23 and a half seconds between Nick Leitz and Brandon 6th. That's a huge gap.
I'll tell you what, Nick Light's looking real dominant. I mean, he's in P1 right now, going into turn 1, P2. Ryan Pasoko.
Yeah.
Again, I can't say enough about Pasoko right now. I mean, obviously looking really good. Again, Pasoko and Erdman, Brian, Ben Madden, a lot of these guys don't normally, be up front, and now they are, and they're showing that they have strength, right? That like they're showing that they're fast. So that's really, really cool. Definitely a huge confidence booster for these guys. That should carry them out for these next couple of races.
Yeah, we've seen Pasoko do well on these 1.5 miles, but to his credit, he has gotten better from season 2 to season 3. Still makes some of the rookie mistakes that I remember him making last year as Mike Bennett, big bump by Robert Hissong, as Leitz is on pit road. And that,
I'll tell you what, man, this race is going to get it's going to get heated.
Holy cow. As the Lights was slowing up to get on pit road, Robert Hissong just accidentally punts the 19 just a tad.
No caution though. Everybody keeps their stuff under wraps. We're looking good. These guys are putting on a show, man. Everyone's staying patient right now. They know it's a long race,
It's a long race that's going fast.
Every car that started this race is still in it. That's amazing.
Except one, right? Maybe I'm just missing it. I have Charles.
I'll put it this.
Charles Balance.
I'll put it this way. Nobody's wrecked out.
There you go. We've had a bunch of cars in the wall, though. Just shows you how tight these vehicles are getting.
Oh, yeah. All right, lap 82, 8 laps to go. Mitch Diamond, again, we know he took no tires stage 1. Right now sitting in P4. Kind of slow right now, getting passed by a couple guys, Ben Madden and Jesse Erdman, but definitely looking really strong right now. Again, this strat so far seems like it's working. He's not a lap down. He's not in any issue. As we see Luke Doberman now pitting.
Yeah, just saw that come across SDK. So is Ryan Pasoko. But Pasoko off the track way early. I wonder how that's going to affect his pit time. Currently watching the 66 of Brandon 6. See if he cycles out eventually to be the leader. But
Seems like he might be. Yeah, right now he's sitting in P9.
Right now, P6. But right in front of him, he has Matthew Fleming, Josh Larson. I think Fleming is on the same strategy as 6. They are.
Yes, they were.
They pitted on the same lap.
Which is kind of, it's kind of crazy to think about, right? Because 6 was back there, or Matt Smith and Matthew Fleming, they were all racing together, and now 6 kind of fell back quite a ways after we saw Fleming kind of get into the back of him. So seems like maybe this is half strategy, half maybe he just got out of shape, or maybe he used his tires up, So I think if this comes back around, we're going to see either Matt Smith or Matt Fleming, I think, come and get this seal the stage win.
Well, we're getting very close to the end of stage 3. Mitch Diamond currently your race leader, followed by Matt Smith, Matthew Fleming, Ronnie Outlaw, and Josh Larson, your top 5.
So right here, we got 4 laps to go. We're going to see who saved their fuel enough to put themselves in a position where they can finish this stage up front. Because right now, if you're anybody in the top 5, you're kind of pretty invested into your setup and into your strategy. So you don't want to pit right here for fuel or anything, because that's going to mess it all up. So hopefully these guys saved enough gas to make this stage, and then now they're in really good shape, right? Because now Mitch, for example, is going to have more tires. But right now, Matthew Fleming just dove into turn 1, catching Mitch Diamond real quick. I bet we're going to see a new leader here within the next half lap.
For all you people that don't know, that was the Jaws theme.
Matthew Fleming going to dive it in on the inside here.
And here it is.
Coming to the stripe.
Oh, he will by far lead this lap. Matthew Fleming to the point. Wow. I think Mitch Diamond, very slow. Now getting passed by Matt Smith. And here comes Josh Larson. Probably just realizing that he might not make it if he doesn't save. And when you realize that, a lot of the time, it is too late.
We talked to him earlier, man. Matthew Fleming right now, P1 in that Beard Nuts Chevy, looking really good.
Coming to the
last year's defending winner.
And
looks like these boys can make it on fuel, man.
And you see that a lot. A driver, when he figures out a racetrack, comes back the following year and puts that car wherever he needs to, drives like hell. And it took him a little bit, but he's on the point and pulling away from Matt Smith. Coming out of turn 4, stage 3 winner, Matthew Fleming. Followed by Matt Smith, Josh Larson, Ronnie Outlaw, Brandon 6th and 5th, Ryan Dunkelberger in 6th, 7th, Mitch Diamond falling all the way back there, very slow. 8th, Nick Silver, Brandon Bowie, another stage, another couple points, and Mike Koravu in 10th. We're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we're going to talk to the driver of the 88 Beer Nuts, Matthew Fleming.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
All right, thanks again to all our sponsors: Highline Motorsports, Custom Paint, Flem Dogs, Admin Box, Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. And speaking of that podcast, I'm going to do a quick shameless plug here. New episodes come out every Friday morning. If you're a podcasting fan and want to listen to it instead of watch it, we're talking about Despicable Me. Having a little fun with that.
Ooh.
First time I've ever watched those movies. It's actually very entertaining. A lot of adult humor in those movies. But
yes, there is quite a bit.
But let's talk to the driver of the 88, the winner of stage number 3. We talked to him earlier. We're going to talk to him again. Matthew Fleming. trying to pull him down into the Discord. Oh, there we go. Matthew Fleming, AJ, and Steve in the broadcast booth. What's up, pal?
Hey, how you guys doing?
So, that
Not
was
as good as you, man.
That was an insane stage strategy-wise, which you coming out on top. Talk to us and everybody at home. How'd it go? Was there any question in your mind?
Well, at first, yeah, there was a lot of question. It's like, oh, should have done that? But after a few laps, I was able to save quite a bit. So I knew as long as I kept doing what I was doing, that would be good. I still had 3 laps I could go, so I saved plenty. Yeah, that worked out great. Because I was able to get on it a little bit more there at the end, just to get a little bit more of a lead. So, yeah, it was kind of interesting call. It was kind of last minute, and yeah, we made it work.
Steve, real fast, anything for Matthew Fleming?
Yeah, man. So tell me what I mean. Like right now, we're seeing Nick Leeds coming down pit road, obviously for strategy call, but so that's going to give the lead back over to Nick Biddy here. But I mean, like, tell me about your race. Right, we have 50 laps to go. Okay, a lot of the strategy is kind of maybe not over with, right? But it's definitely still in play. I think we're going to see him play out here in a second. You know, right now it's nighttime, right? It's full night at this point. We've gone caution free. Okay, I hate to jinx it. We've gone caution free. What's the play right now? Like, are we still kind of being patient? Are we, being aggressive? Right behind you, you've got, Brandon Bowie, Brandon Six, obviously strong guys. What's the vibe right now? Like, what are we thinking about?
Right now, we're going to be aggressive, but we still got to make sure we hold our tires, because there's no way anybody's going to be able to make it. So either way, you have to come back in. Now is just saving tires and kind of watching what everybody else's strategy is. We got to pit and utilize the fresh tires the best we can, and we'll see what we can come up with it.
All right, Matthew
Absolutely.
Fleming, good luck in stage 4. Hopefully we get to talk to you by the end of it. Have a good one, my friend.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Steve, what are your thoughts going into the first and only stage 4 of the year?
Well, I'll tell you what. Right now, it's going to be about strategy. Obviously, has happened, and people are still in it. So, how is it going to play out? Where is it going to have people end? Right now, we're coming to the green flag. Matt Smith leading us off.
Green flag, green flag.
Very good launch by that 35. He's going to bring Brandon Bowie with him.
Really strong start for Matt Smith, looking really good. Brandon Bowie looking strong down here on the inside. Matthew Fleming going to try and close the door here on Brandon Six, looking pretty good, doing it well.
Did that and looked like strategy 100%.
Bowie's diving down the inside of Matt Smith, gets into him on the inside. Has to lay up. Matt Smith didn't get loose there, but Bowie definitely got out of shape. Matt Fleming on the inside. Brandon Six has to go up high. Might clear him here.
Looked like strategy really paid off for that 66. But really fast, single file here so far. Gonna go back a little further. You have Mike Corvu, Brandon Shelton, all battling back here side by side.
A lot of fast guys still back here in the mid-pack. I mean, right now, Nick Lights right here. Definitely, mired back in, I believe, 21st place. We have Luke Doberman going to make it 3 wide here between Ben Madden and John Wright in the backstretch.
I have Nick Leitz 2 laps down. Do you? Because I do.
It does show that for me. Yeah, that is strange. We'll see how it comes back around on the scoring pylon. It might be just a glitch.
I think he ran out of fuel and now has to fight all the way back. Him and Mitch Diamond both, multiple laps down.
That's a shame right now, man. Yeah, Nick Lights and Mitch Diamond. Yeah, you're right. Showing 2 laps down. We know Mitch ran out of fuel. We heard it over the radio, but Nick Lights right now, again, tried going for that that strategy. Sometimes it plays and sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah, sometimes it bites you in the butt, but that 55 is on a tear right now. Looking to the inside of Brandon Shelton. Ooh,
Michael Bennett makes a nice move there in between Tetro and Shelton. Shelton kind of gets into the wall right here. Comes down slightly into Joe DeVee, but everyone keeps it straight.
Shelton was messed up all the way through 1 and 2, and you saw it. Little into the wall as he's backing way up. Dixon to his inside. He's going to fall back all the way to 24th place.
Oh, we're seeing John Wright get into the wall right here, into the infield grass, coming down pit road.
Unfortunately, that's probably going to be a penalty for unsafe entry.
It is. Let's take a look at what happens if we can. He's on the inside of Brandon Shelton in turn 4. Doesn't really see him on his inside, on his outside. Comes up and then gets into the wall. But we stay green.
Yeah, here it is, everybody. Gonna far chase it and hit that play button. Doesn't see Brandon Shelton on his outside, and they just meet in the middle. Oh, a lot of damage on that 04. Doesn't collect anybody else.
Unfortunate for the 04 car of John Wright. Had a good finish right now. He's just slow in the backstretch.
There's probably a lot of damage on that vehicle.
We're seeing Dunkelberger right now, sitting in P5, trying to make a move on Brandon 6.
Brandon 6, as we've transitioned into the night portion of this race, doesn't look to be as fast as he was, but that could all be protecting tires, because we've gone green outside of the stage cautions the whole race. So he's probably playing protect the tires, pit when I need to, and don't overwear those Goodyear Eagles.
I'll tell you what, AJ, we got 38 laps still to go. Ain't nobody saving tires right now. If you have a set of tires or even 2 more sets of tires, if you played that strategy, you're going, I mean, right now you are full charging. Absolutely, because right now it's crunch time.
Yeah, look at Dunkelberger in that 26, showing left, right, and center. But here comes Matthew Fleming in the 88.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Matt Smith, we talked about him leading the green flag on this restart, is able right now to hold off Brandon Bowie. Last week's winner, we know he's fast. Brandon 6, looking really good behind him. Obviously, 3-time winner so far. Could have won probably more races, but, you know, things happen. But Matt Smith looking really, really strong right now. A great showing for Powerhouse Motorsports.
Yeah, very much.
Haven't quite talked about him, you know, much of this race, but right now, Josh Larson sitting in P7. So far has had a really clean race. Haven't talked much about him. Don't really know this track going on. He wouldn't tell us pre-race. So he's having a clean race. He's having one of those Kevin Harvick kind of races, right? Where at the end of this thing, he's like, where the hell was he? So, or you know, like, where'd he come from, right? So I think this is one of those races for him right now in a solid P7. But I think he's got some tricks up his sleeve. As we see Brandon Bowie right now making this pass on to Matt Smith at the line on the inside.
Yeah, I was currently looking at Jeff Tetro and Jesse Erdman for 14th place. That was a good battle, but up to the lead. Holy cow.
Matt Smith not going to give this up.
No, he's going to pinch the 34 down as much as possible. Going to try to use
Brandon
a little
Bowie
bit
gets
of a
loose.
side draft. And that's going to open the door for Brandon 6 to get right to the side of Bowie. Very, very much a veteran move there by the 35 of Matt Smith.
That was a strong move. Again, Matt Smith knows how to get it done. Season 1 champion. Looking real strong right now. Able to hold off Brandon Bowie. This is a statement race for him, I'm thinking.
And that hurt Brandon Bowie a lot, all the way back to the 4th position and falling back just a tad more as he's trying to regroup on the heels of Matthew Fleming. But here comes Dunkelberger. That 26 is fast as heck tonight. Somebody found the golden horseshoe.
Or it found them. Either way.
From Matt Smith to Josh Larson, just about a 1.5 gap. Everybody has draft between that, but then almost 2 seconds back in 8th place is Ronnie Outlaw. So you have 2 packs kind of forming right now.
So just some house cleaning right here. We have a couple guys out of the race. Charles Bounce, Ryan Libby, Andrew Phipps, Anthony Williams. John Wright was involved in that. Bounce off the wall is 7 laps down, but still in the pits. But then we have Mitch Diamond and Nick Lights right now 2 laps down because they ran out of fuel at one point in the race. Coming to the end of stage 3. And then Nick Biddy right now a lap down, also because of a fuel situation. So if we get a caution, these guys are probably right back in it. But right now we have 21 cars in the lead lap. And I'll tell you what, we're coming down to it, man. We got 32 laps to go, and these guys still have to pit. So when are they going to pit? You know, do you come right when your fuel window opens? I mean, this thing has stayed green the entire time, keep in mind. So do you pit? Do you pit when the fuel opens up, thinking it's going to stay green and undercut all these guys? Or do you pit at the last second, thinking that, our first yellow for incidents is going to come out?
Yeah, still looking through the field because we have battles all over the place as Bowie goes to the point, passes Matt Smith on the inside.
Brandon 6, yeah, out front, P1. I'll tell you what, that top 5 is, I mean, all these leaders are under a blanket. They have been up front and they have not left each other. But our stage 1 and 2 winner, Brandon 6, is finally back up front.
It took about a stage and a half, but yes, he is. And we're already under 30 laps to go, Steve.
I'll tell you what, for a race that's supposed to be one of our longest of the season, this thing is flying by, man.
Battle for second here. Teammates Fleming and Smith side by side off of turn 4.
I think it's go time. I think Brandon 6 hit the nitrous and he's off. He's gone. So whatever strategy he's on, he just found it. Matt Smith is kind of falling back. Gets into the wall. Oh no, takes out Dunkelberger. That's going to be our first caution of the night.
Oh no. Oh, and Matt Smith back into the wall.
AJ.
You're gonna have to watch this again. Here it is. We're gonna take it from a far chase cam. And coming out of turn 2, Dunkelberger kind of chops the nose of the 35 and goes head into the wall, and the 35 just doesn't have the tire there. Just goes right back into the wall. Gonna see it from Dunkelberger now. Wow. Don't know if there's a ton of damage on the 26, but the right side of the 35 is completely messed up. And this is our first caution of the evening. And that comes on lap 113. Well, while they're under caution, we're going to take a quick break to say hi to our sponsors, Admin Box, the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast, and Wheels America.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with the Honor Our Heroes 350 here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, virtual Charlotte Motor Speedway. I am Steve Tucker with AJ Capola in the booth. I'll tell you what, we have had just our first caution between Matt Smith, the 35, and Ryan Dunkelberger, the 26 car. 35 car washing up, getting tight out of turn 2, and collects the 26 of Dunkelberger. Bringing out our first caution.
Other way around.
Bringing out our first caution. And I'll tell you what, this kind of changes everything, AJ. I mean, right now, 25 laps to go in this race. Yeah, everybody can make it on fuel now.
A complete game changer.
Yeah, everybody can make it on fuel at this point, even if you go hard here. So tires, you know, obviously you probably took tires here, if you're in this position. So we're gonna see kind of what happens if we get another yellow. I'd be curious to know if anybody has one more set left to see if they can finish this thing off. But I'll tell you what, man, we'll see what happens. I knew this was gonna get interesting at some point, and here it is.
Yeah, we're on the Goodyear blimp, taking a heck of a look in 3 and 4 at the field. You know, now would be the time for you to go get a drink, use the bathroom, because you're not going to want to miss a thing when we go green in just about a lap.
Absolutely.
And it looks like Leitz is going to use that wave around. Same thing with Mitch Diamond.
Exactly. They're going to be back on the lead lap here.
Yes.
Or excuse me, 1 lap to go. But yeah, Nick Leeds gets the wave around. We see a couple guys coming down to pit road. MBR or Michael Bennett Racing here. Teammates Ryan Pasoko and Michael Bennett coming down for topping off on fuel. Just making sure they can make it. Definitely a smart move on their behalf.
Now, on our screen right now, you see the 66 and the 88. That 88 on the outside needs to get the restart of his life.
Oh, for sure.
Because the outside will work. You just need to be to the 66's outside.
I agree. But here's the thing, AJ. This thing ain't going green again.
Oh, boy.
We're going to get some more yellows. I've got a feeling. I mean, right now it's 25 to go. No one's going to be patient anymore. We were patient for 115 laps.
Yeah.
There's no way this thing doesn't go another yellow.
That was our first yellow via incident. We've obviously had the stage cautions, but to go this long without a caution shows the capability of the drivers within this league. As that pace car,
sure.
That Dodge Dart pace car is going to take that left-handed turn down pit road in the control of Brandon 6. Steve, you said it. We're going to get a couple more cautions. Well, we got to get there first.
Exactly. Here we go. Brandon 6 in the restart zone. Gets a good launch. Matt Fleming, definitely not as good, but not bad either. Side by side with Nick Silver.
It looked like the 88 spun the tires just a tad. Bowie completely leaves the 88 to dry up top. He's going to go all the way back to 4th.
Ooh, Luke Doberman kind of gets loose here out of turn 2. Collects himself. He's good.
Fleming using that outside. Oh, Ronnie Outlaw drove it in there. Deep.
Mid-pack is a hornet's nest right now. We get Brandon Shelton, Brian Dixon. All over the place. 2 and 3 wide at times.
Oh, boy, that looks like a tornado
Shelton.
ripping through a trailer park.
Matt Smith falling pretty hard.
3 wide.
Jesse Urban on the inside. Oh, Brandon Shelton gets loose into the wall.
Oh, and they're still going the right way. But a lot of damage on that number 2 of Brandon Shelton.
Shelton kept it straight, no yellow.
That's unfortunate. A lot of damage on that 2, most likely ending his night. Josh King battling all the way back to sit in 12th position right now. You know, he started outside pole at an incident on lap 1, and it has been one heck of a fight all the way back. Look at that. Brandon 6 on lap 119 puts the fastest lap of the race.
Thomas Meeks right now trying to battle back in P11. Trying to get back around Christopher Buds. Looking pretty good. But in the meanwhile, Ronnie Outlaw right here trying to make a pass It's Robert Hassan.
Oh!
Oh, turns him.
And he just
As
spins
we're looking
Robert
at him,
Hassan.
turns him. Gets into the 55 of Thomas Meeks.
Wow, we saw that right on stream. We're gonna go back and see that. Do you think that was just a misjudge?
Ooh, I don't know, man. I don't know if that's. I got a feeling
that had to have been a misjudge because his song didn't move at all. And
I got a feeling that might be some. I got a feeling there might be some retribution from the Truck Series. I can't confirm that, but we're gonna look back at it. AJ,
Whoa,
I'll be back.
Everybody sees it on their screen right there, and just moves right up into the 29. But yeah, we're under caution, and we will go to a quick break to say hi to our sponsors once again. Unfortunately, Steve Tucker was right with 20 laps to go, right under our second caution for incident.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
All right, we are back. Thanks again to all our sponsors. In the bottom right-handed corner, AJ Coppola, Steve Tucker in the broadcast booth here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Now, we've seen it a couple times, Steve. What are your thoughts on that caution right there? Doing some admin stuff, so we'll come back to him when he gets back, but absolutely crazy. That's the second caution of incident tonight, and we are closing it down here tonight with just about 17 laps to go. Hopefully you all are having a wonderful evening. But with that being said, the chat room is open for people who want to talk to Steve or myself. Hit that like button, subscribe to the Wheels America Racing Network. Everything helps the channel and the YouTube algorithm to move us up the board, so whenever somebody types in iRacing or League Race or eNASCAR, we get knocked up a peg. So if you could do us a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel so you do not miss any races in the future. Or heck, if you want to go back and watch some of the old ones, they're all fun. Steve made a playlist of all old races. Go back and watch them. They are very fun and could be a handful to watch. But should be getting the one to go in just a tad. But right now, your race leader is Brandon 6, followed by Nick Silver, Brandon Bowie in third. Amazing run for that 34. Last week's winner at Coda. Fourth is Matthew Fleming, Josh Larson in fifth. Sixth right now is Jeff Tetro. Luke Doberman in seventh. Eighth to Chris Buds. Ninth right now, trying to bounce back after his lap one incident in the wall, is Josh King in the bottom shelf diecast Ford Mustang. Chris Buds in 9th, and in 10th, Matt Opplinger. So we've got the one to go. Can Brandon 6 get another excellent restart from that inside. As we are gridding up, hitting that backstretch. Man, everybody, appreciate you all for tuning in to the race tonight. It means a lot to Steve, myself. If Reese was here, would mean a lot to him as well. We honor our heroes tonight here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. A long race that actually has gone by relatively fast. Gonna go through 3 and 4 one final time before we hit that loud pedal. Let's see if Nick Silver could be the one driver that gets the good restart on the outside. Pace car hitting pit road. And we are in the control of Brandon 6.
Here we go. Restart, 15 laps to go.
15 laps to go. Steve makes me need to go change some underwear. Outside lane doesn't go again. Brandon Bowie takes second place from Silver. And
oh, Bowie's right there.
Bowie is right there.
On the inside, is it turn 3?
There he is.
Can he pull it off?
Are we going to see a
Uh-oh.
bump?
Uh-oh.
They touch.
Nick Silver right there. He's not going to stand for this.
Can Bowie
Oh,
go
they
back to
touch.
back?
Six is going to get that run on the outside, though, on the backstretch.
He's going to get a very strong run on that outside.
Silver's going to try and follow him.
That 34 of Bowie's going to need the side draft just a little bit. Does it. Going to take first place for the time being. Let's see.
Ooh, Brandon almost clear, but doesn't quite have it.
It's the Brandon and Brandon show up front.
Ooh, Six might have messed up right there. Got a little too high.
He
Brandon
did, but
Bowie not quite clear. He's got to clear that.
He needed to move up just a little higher coming out of turn 2. That allowed 6 to have the nice run on the outside.
Ooh, Bowie kind of sent it right there. He might drift up high here. Matthew Fleming right in the back of Nick Silver. We got to be careful. Bowie and 6 might use up their tires here. We might get somebody 3rd, 4th, 5th on back.
Oh, Bowie clipping the apron, able to hold on to it.
Oh, Bowie's just, he's almost there, but he can't quite clear him.
What Bowie needs to do is not hit the 66, but move him up the racetrack just a little.
He's got to give him a kind of a love tap.
Oh,
hits
caution
him.
out on the racetrack.
And a caution.
Who is that for?
Ooh, front stretch. Ryan Dixon around. Ben Madden.
Oh, no.
Mitch Diamond. And then Dunkelberger. David. Oh, my word. What happened here? Gonna rewind here just a bit.
Oh,
AJ, take it away, man.
wow. Gonna have to jump on with Dunkelberger because that looked like it happened.
Looks like David. It's David spinning Pasoko.
Oh, wow. Well, let's see it right here. Gonna use our very nice far chase cam. And coming out of turn 4.
A lot of guys got involved in this one, man. A lot of big players for sure.
A lot of people. You are right. And I don't know who to blame on that one. Because it looked like they just met in the middle coming off of turn 4.
All right, I'm going to go speak with race control real quick and see what happens here.
All right, well, that is interesting. When we go green, we're going to be under 10 laps to go, everybody. And here come the cavalry down pit road. Matthew Fleming, Jeff Tetro, Matt Opplinger stay out. But Brandon Bowie, Brandon Six down pit road. We're going to take another break to say hi to our sponsors. We'll be right back.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
All right, up in the booth, it is Steve Tucker, AJ Capola. Steve,
Yeah.
we talked about strategy earlier. We saw a lot of drivers come down pit road and take tires. Your top five are the only five that did not. Brandon Six being the first driver with freshies on. Are we going to see him like a cannon or what?
Well, again, I think the same strat kind of played out in Kansas a couple weeks back, right? So almost the same situation. I mean, at this point, the yellow just came out a little earlier, and the guys up front had fresh tires then. So, are fresh tires as dominant right now as they, probably, I don't think we're going to see Brandon Six and these guys catch up to these guys up front as quick. But I think we're definitely going to see a bunch of these guys get fly through the field. It's just a matter of, Fleming, Tetro, we know they're fast. It's just, let's just kind of see what happens. All the while, we do have Robert Hassong actually in the infield care center. Let's get a word with him real quick. Rob, how's it going, man? Noticed you in the infield care center. How's it going? What are your thoughts on what happened today so far? Rob. All right.
Well, it was worth a shot.
A couple of communication issues there, but
something I want to bring up, Steve, and you mentioned the pit stops. Fleming, Tetro, Opplinger, and Erdman all last pitted on 113. Matt Smith on 121, and 6, and the rest of the field is 130. Do you think 17 lap-old tires?
7 laps. Well, yes. It's going to play a big role. So this is going to be, we're either going to see exactly what we saw in Kansas, where the guys who just got fresh tires steamroll to the front, or it's been really tough to pass here. A lot more tougher to pass than Kansas. Kansas has like 3 lanes. Charlotte's really a 2-lane track. So a lot harder to pass, as we've seen. These guys up front, I really think they're going to have to make a big mistake. But truth be told, I don't think that was our last yellow.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, you got to stop.
I know. I can't help it.
Have more faith in your drivers, man.
But here we go. We're going green. We're going to have 6 laps to go, AJ.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what.
That's going to be crazy.
Fuel's not an issue. Tires are all worn up. What do you got? Let's see it. Fleming in the restart zone gets a great restart. Inside line takes up pretty hard. Jeff Tetro, not really a good start right there.
Jeff Tetro is still able to try to duck down behind Fleming.
Fleming at this point needs to have the best 6 laps of his life. 6 is in the middle of Smith and Erdman. Kind of getting shuffled. Smith, again, was involved in that wreck a little while back, but he is still up there.
Yeah, Brandon 6 already up to 4th position.
Jeff Tetro had kind of a bad restart, but he is right there on the back of Matt Smith, 2 car lengths back. We're 5 laps to go, man.
Closing in relatively fast here.
This is going to be tough. Again, this is a harder place to pass. 6 is going to have to get around, Matt Opplinger. That's going to be a little bit tough, right? And then he's going to get past Tetro, and then all the way to the front of Matt Fleming. Fleming's not going to let this thing skate by.
No, I wouldn't expect him to.
But I'll tell you what, Matt Opplinger in P3 and that 82 car are looking real good. That Steel City Racing car, P3, best run of his season so far. Has had a lot of bad luck, to be quite honest with you, but unbelievable run. If he can hold on to a top 5, that'd be incredible.
Yellow is
Another
out.
caution, AJ.
Mike Bennett.
Let's take a look.
Oh,
Right now,
he gets clobbered by the 32. He got Pat McAfee'd by Nick Biddy. And it looks like the 19. Oh! Goes to correct it, and he goes headfirst into the wall. Ending his race.
all right.
Looks like Brandon Shelton also with an issue. Back up and see this. Maybe he just pulled over and jumped to pit road. I'm just watching this. That was an absolutely hard hit on Mike Bennett. Like, I really hope that force feedback is not up very high. Because I will tell you, that would hurt. But we are under caution once again. Steve was 100% right. When we started seeing cautions, we're going to keep seeing cautions. This will be our first green-white-checkered of the evening.
Well, so far, AJ, I don't know, man. Hasn't really given it us yet, but this might be a natural green-white checker. We'll have to find out.
Really? Well, I don't...
We will see. I believe it's actually... Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Yeah, 3 to go. Right now, we're still into yellow. I believe this will be our one and only green-white checker. I could be wrong, but we're about to find out real soon.
That's right. We only have one. Oh, boy.
Yes, sir. That's what makes this unique. Hey, but real quick, as we're under yellow, just want to say a huge shout out to all of our sponsors, Wheels America. They've been with us since season 1, so fantastic to have them on board as always, and obviously sponsoring the Wheels America Racing Network. So great guys over there down in Texas, and so good. Flem Dogs, Admin Box, fantastic guys. Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast. AJ, there you go.
A shameless plug.
All of our sponsors, just a fantastic job. Highline Customs, Josh King, number 7 car, does an awesome job with decals and sponsorship or paint schemes and whatnot. So definitely reach out to him for any paint schemes for sure. But right now, I mean, Matthew Fleming, he won Daytona. So this is going to be interesting. We do get word now, AJ, this is going to be the final caution. So this is the final green-white checkered finish. This is it.
And we've seen it many times in the Wheels America Cup Series that when we get this green-white checkered, we don't see the checkered. We see another yellow.
Typically, that's how it's been. Now, here's the thing. So for the folks at home who don't really know how this works, so right now it's a green-white checkered finish. Okay. So what that means is we're going to have one more attempt to finish this race under green. So once this race goes green again, this next restart, if a yellow comes out, that ends the race. If the white flag comes out and a caution ends the race, then typically iRacing will let you finish the race under green. So, going to be interesting for sure. I'll tell you what, the person right now in the catbird seat, I believe, is Matthew Fleming, because he's going to get a hell of a restart. P1 is a huge advantage on these restarts. I think he's going to be in the catbird seat right now, going to get that good restart. And if a yellow does come out, then guess what? As long as he makes it back around to the official race finish, he's got the W. But Jeff Tetro, he needs a win right now. Matt Oplinger, I'll tell you what, if he wins this thing, that's a massive shakeup in the playoffs. But don't forget, Brandon 6 right here in P4. You know, Nick Silver right there hasn't had a win yet, but he's knocking on the door. Matt Smith got involved in that accident before with Dunkelberger, got into the wall, obviously didn't affect his car too much, sitting in P6. Really strong run for him. Brandon Bowie, P7. Again, last week's winner at Coda. Fantastic job for him so far. Josh Larson still back there looking really good. Again, kind of a quiet night, but, you know, he's still back there looking good.
Yeah, Duberman also doing very well being in that top 10. But you mentioned how it's Matthew Fleming's race to lose. The driver I think that's probably in the better catbird seat is riding around in 5th place. Driver of the 99, Nick Silver, who's been very close to winning a couple of these events. But in all honesty, you know, I can see Fleming, even with how much he has done in iRacing, overdrive a turn, collect the 87, and then Oplinger and 6 right behind him, and Silver just right along by, goodbye. But are you ready for the final restart? Everybody stay tuned to after the race while we talk to our podium positions. But here we go. Pace car is going to take that turn. We're going to be in control with Matthew Fleming here.
Fleming needs the restart of his life right now.
Green flag, green flag.
It's a good finish. Oplinger doesn't have a great finish at all. In there in the back. Tetro on the outside has a great restart. Side by side for the lead. Fleming almost clears him. He does clear him.
You have a look right behind him. It's the 66. You know Brandon 6 is going to drive it in deep.
I'll tell you what, Fleming is on the older tires. 6 does have the new tires, but we're going to be at 1 lap to go here.
Here it is.
He's side by side with Tetro. This is exactly what Fleming wants.
They're still
Fleming going for back-to-back wins. Back-to-back wins here at this huge Honor Our Heroes
Jeff
350
Tetro
race.
might have a run to that outside.
Fleming can't let that bottom line go. Tetro's got a great runner here on the outside. Into 3. Brandon 6 going to kind of send it in. Tetro's going to get a great run.
And I think out of turn number 4.
Matthew Fleming is going to be your Honor Our Heroes 350 winner.
Wow. Followed by Brandon 6, Matt Smith, Jeff Tetro. Okay, I don't think SDK is correct. But Matthew Fleming with an amazing finish here tonight brings the win to Powerhouse. Stay tuned, everybody, while we get everything situated. We'll talk to our podium position finishers in just a moment.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
All right, Steve, are you ready for some interviews as Matthew Fleming does the Polish victory lap?
Absolutely.
Well, where do you want to start, pal? Want to go 1, 2, 3, or 3, 2, 1, or any other combination of that?
Whew, man, I don't even know. that was a heck of a race, and Matthew Fleming again. We talked to him pre-race. He's on the thumbnail for the YouTube video. I'll tell you what, this man had a career day. I think, arguably, he might even say this might be one of his better wins of his career. I mean, he won Daytona, right? Our biggest race of the season, and then now has won our Honor Our Heroes 350, arguably our second biggest race, maybe even, but definitely up there in the crown jewel events, right? So, I mean, when Matthew Fleming wins, he knows how to win, and he knows where to win. So, congrats on him. We know he was confident before the race, and big props to Matthew Matt Smith, who's came home third, strong finish, and then Brandon Six again tried that same strategy, as Kansas, right? Going on those new tires, just didn't quite have enough to catch him. So overall, fantastic job, and let's get to talking to some guys, man.
All right. Well, that's exactly what we're going to do, and without further ado, let's talk to race winner as he's getting out of his car. The driver of the 88 Beer Nuts Chevy for Powerhouse Motorsports, Matthew Fleming. Holy crud. Well,
what is up?
Way to defend the Charlotte Honor Our Heroes 350. Immediate reaction, go.
Oh, it is freaking amazing. I cannot believe it. Holy cow. What a rush. Oh, man. That was one great race for this number 88 Beer Nuts machine. Oh, my gosh.
I'll tell you what, man, not only did you have to hold off a hard-charging Brandon Six, we know how much of a threat he is, but on fresh tires especially, right? Your teammate Matt Smith in P3 looking real good. I'll tell you what, man, I said it a second ago, but when you win, you know where to win and how to win. And you did it again this time around. How you feeling?
Oh, it is amazing. Man, I was nervous. I will tell you. That second to last caution, I had a pretty good lead, and that caution came out, and I was like, oh man. And then this last one, I seen Six was in fourth. You can't believe the nerves I had. I was like, oh my gosh, he's been fast all day. Oh man.
Yeah, you held on to it, man.
Amazing.
Unbelievable job. Just a great win. Second win of the season, obviously our Daytona 250 winner. So definitely a huge win there, huge win here. Again, two crown jewel events. You know how to win when the sun goes down, man.
Oh
so,
yeah, I love this track.
I'll tell you what, back-to-back winner of the Charlotte race these last two seasons. So great job. Right now you've got even a bigger boost. You were also the stage 3 winner, so congrats on that. So you've got those extra points for the playoffs. Oh man, I'll tell you what, just great finish. Great day for Powerhouse Motorsports, and great momentum, I think, for you guys.
Oh yeah. I want to shout out to our sponsors, Beer Nuts. Man, this number 88 machine. Oh, it was fast. It was amazing. Douglas Distributing. PK Transportation. Oh man, TexasFamilyMG.com. Shout out to my Flem Dogs Auto Repair again. Shout out to all the heroes, servicemen, veterans. Man, it is amazing to be able to do this because of all you guys. Yep. Shout out to all my friends and family that are watching. You guys up there in the booth, of course, always do an amazing job. This is awesome. Can't believe it.
Well, congratulations on the win. Defending your Honor Our Heroes 350 from last year. Well, now there's only one thing left to do, and that's to go celebrate. So, Mr. Fleming, go have a couple beers or what have you, and enjoy the rest of your night, pal.
Hey, thank you, man. Thank you.
All right, Steve. Now it's time to go talk to the driver who finished second here tonight. The driver of the 66, Brandon 6. Brandon 6, AJ and Steve in the booth. Got a copy with us, pal.
Yeah, how's it going, fellas?
Man, when you came down pit road on lap 130, we thought you were just going to blow by everybody, but caution after caution. You end up finishing second here tonight. Overall, a very good race for you and the 66 team. Kind of talk us through that last stage and those last couple cautions.
Yeah, the last stage kind of was definitely different, especially when the caution came out. Definitely changed up some strategies, but for the most part, it wasn't too bad. Yeah, I'm definitely with you on that. I thought coming down there with tires and getting them would have paid a lot of dividends, but for whatever reason, the restart that we came out on the fresh tires, it just fired off super tight. I know Nick and myself both drove into turn 3 and like we couldn't get the thing to turn. It sailed straight. But then like on that very last on the green-white-checkered restart that we had, it fired off actually free. So I don't know what happened between the cautions and stuff, but it fired off free, which I actually thought I had a shot at Matt, but I need to get past Jeff there in order for me to get to his Matt's outside, because I definitely had something for him there. I just needed to get clear.
All right, brothers. Well, after a very good race, you won stage 1, you won stage 2, you come home second. Steve, do you have anything for Mr. 6?
I'll tell you what, man, I was getting flashbacks to Kansas for a second there. I mean, I saw you on fresh tires, and I'm like, oh god, here we go again. He's gonna blow past all these leaders and gonna steal another one. So, but honestly, just a fantastic job. And I mean, obviously, a P2 is nothing to shy away from. So, fantastic race for you. I mean, obviously, just just continuing that momentum throughout the season and towards the playoffs. A lot more playoff points. You know, obviously, you were the pole winner, and now the stage 2 and 1 winner. So, great job, man. We're looking forward to seeing how you do next week in New Hampshire.
Sure. Thanks, guys.
All right, now it is time to talk to the driver that finished third here tonight. The 65 Douglas distributing because English. Matt Smith, AJ and Steve in the broadcast booth. Got a copy, pal.
Got a copy.
Hey, man, great race overall. Battle from start to finish. Come home third. Talk about your race, dude.
The beginning of the race started off very well in this Douglas distributing Chevrolet. Got a little bit mixed up there, got towards the back, but I did end up getting some good stage points, and I'm just glad I rallied back here at the end from, I think, like 23rd to finish third.
Steve?
Man, you did a great job right there. I mean, we saw you obviously get involved in that wreck with Ryan Dunkelberger. Looks like you got tight a little bit and then, kind of pushed him into the wall or whatnot. But just some hard racing, obviously. But your car didn't seem too hurt after that. Just walk us through that and kind of your recovery.
Yeah, after that incident there, surprisingly, I had about 10 seconds to repair. Got that done, used my last set of tires, and just put the pedal to the metal and held or hoped that she would stick there for. And I'm just glad I got enough of a good run to get past Tetro there at the end.
Yeah, overall, a wonderful evening. You go to New Hampshire next week. You know, you've been building momentum week after week after week. The last time we were up in New Hampshire was the championship race last year. But if you think about 2 years ago, you know, you come home with the win up there and a championship. Does that kind of give you a little bit of a confidence boost going there next week?
Yeah, actually it does. I know I can run strong there, as long as I can keep consistent throughout the race. It's flat tracks aren't my best tracks. but you can only learn and get better as time goes on. And I feel pretty confident going into next week, and hopefully get out there with a win or even top 5.
All right, dude. Well, enjoy the rest of your evening. Got any sponsors you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Douglas Distributing for sponsoring my car this year, and also MK2 Aerospace, Beer Nuts, PK Transportation, and TexasFamilyMG.com for being all of our cars this year. I appreciate them being on board. I hope they enjoyed tonight's show.
Yeah, 2 powerhouse teammates in the top 3. Congratulations on your run tonight, and we will see you at New Hampshire next week.
All right, see you then, fellas. Have a good night.
Later.
Hey, buddy.
Steve, what a fantastic race. Unfortunately, you had to, look for a caution coming out in just a little bit. I was like, dude, shut up. Shut up. But
Well, I mean, like,
overall, a fantastic race, pal.
absolutely. I'll tell you what, considering, what this race is all about, right? Honoring our veterans and our frontline workers and whatnot. These boys put on a show, and I'm just grateful for them, and grateful for all of our heroes out there amongst us. So great race, AJ. I'm looking forward to New Hampshire next week. Obviously, the last 2 seasons that has been normally our season finale championship race, but it's now in the regular season, and it's going to be interesting to see how that track operates with a field like this and a much bigger group. So it's going to be a lot of fun, man. Our home tracks,
Yes.
our home track, and definitely big for me. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and looking forward to it, man. A great race today.
I'm looking forward to it too. And before we close off tonight, thank you once again to all our heroes out there: doctors, firefighters, police officers, EMS, military personnel, anybody who had any hand on, keeping our lives as normal as possible through the last couple years with that C-word pandemic thingy to hundreds of years ago. Thank you. But Matthew Fleming wins the 350 tonight, followed by Brandon 6, Matthew Smith, Jeff Tetro, and Brandon Bowie rounding out the top 5. Everybody have a wonderful evening. Stay safe, stay cool, stay hydrated. We will see you at New Hampshire Motor Speedway in Loudon, New Hampshire next Thursday at 9 p.m. Be there or be squared. See you later, everybody.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.